Welcome to Spectrum News at 4. I am Inung Okaba coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at the headlines. Appeal Court affirms Okpebholo as Edo governor dismisses Ighodalo'S case. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umo Eno marks 2 years in office, reaffirms commitment to a RISE agenda. UK to build new reservoirs as climate change sparks drought fears. Details of these stories and more in a moment. We begin the news this afternoon from the national scene where the federal government has inaugurated the Alternate Education and Renewed Hope National Homegrown School feeding project to expand the scope of feeding by reaching 20 million out of schools implemented by the Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program in collaboration with the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education and the National Identity Management Commission. The minister said the project was one of the flagship initiatives of the National Social Investment Program Agency in commemoration of President Bola Tinubu's second-year anniversary. Noting that the objective was to build a national framework for reintegrating out-of-school children into safe, structured and nourishing learning environments. From the judiciary now where the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Thursday upheld the election of Monday Okpebholo as governor of Edo State and dismissed the case of Ighodalo, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the September 21, 2024 governorship election in the South State. In its immediate response, the PDP said the verdict of the appellate court would be contested at the Supreme Court. Recall that at the poll last September, Okpebholo of All Progressives Congress APC secured 291,667 votes to defeat PDP's Ighodalo, who got 247,274 votes, and Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party, who came a distant third in the race with 22,763 votes. 14 other candidates contested the seat but got less than 3 frontline candidates. In another development, President Bola Tinubu has acknowledged the great feat the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, has achieved, saying for nearly 5 decades, the bloc has remained a pillar of regional development, cooperation and solidarity. He reaffirmed that Nigeria will remain committed to the idea of establishing the regional bloc, emphasizing the country's historic and continuing role in shaping West Africa's path to peace, integration and shared prosperity. Tinubu spoke at the 50th anniversary celebration of ECOWAS held in Lagos, reflected on the community's founding. President Tinubu paid glowing. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has urged the Senate to consider and confirm the nomination of Thompson Oludare for appointment as the Managing Director of the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC. The President also urged the Senate to confirm the nomination of Kabir Kataka for the position of Executive Director in the corporation. Senate President Godswill Akpabio read the President's letter during plenary and referred the request to the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and other financial institutions for further legislative work to report back soonest. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umo Eno today marked his second anniversary in office with a statewide broadcast expressing gratitude to the citizens for their support and highlighting key achievements under his administration's Arise agenda. In an address, the governor recalled that the significance of citizens regardless of political affiliation. Governor Eno noted significant progress in peace building and unity, saying that political tensions have greatly diminished, with leaders from across party lines now collaborating harmoniously for the state's development. Central to administration's progress, he said, is the Arise agenda. The government's development framework, which he described as the compass of development and the anchor on the sail to economic prosperity. The governor took the opportunity to congratulate President Bola Tinubu for his steady and focused leadership at the national level. He expressed hope that the president's ongoing economic reforms would soon yield positive results for the nation. Reflecting on sectorial gains, Governor Eno mentioned a wide array of projects and initiatives implemented across all 31 local government areas of the state. He also announced that a compendium of achievements titled The Golden Footprint will be unveiled at a state banquet and circulated to the public through the Ministry of Information. Looking ahead, Governor Eno unveiled plans to further diversify the state's economy with a stronger emphasis on tourism and the digital economy. He announced upcoming tourism and power summits aimed at producing roadmaps for a post-oil economic strategy. Governor Eno concluded by urging continued support and prayers from citizens as he pledged to remain a unifying leader.
I placed my hand on the Bible and swore to an oath to be a governor for all Akwa Ibomites, irrespective of political affiliations. On that solemn day also, I promised to deepen the peace we had been enjoying in our state and extend the frontiers of development and growth in line with our governance blueprint, the Arise agenda. 2 years down the line, I come to you today to say that great has been the Lord's faithfulness. With your support and prayers, we have recorded spectacular achievements across sectors. In the remaining 2 years of the first term of this administration, will be endeavoring to diversify our economy with deep emphasis on tourism and the digital economy. We will hold our tourism and power summits where roadmaps that will prepare our state beyond oil will be produced. We will also be holding our corporate summit where we intend to harness all of our corporate practitioners outside Akwa Ibom and in the diaspora. Exactly 2 years ago today, I placed...
In the meantime, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umo Eno has commissioned a new official residence for the chairman of Eket local government area as part of his administration's determination to ensure that council helmsmen reside within their jurisdictions for closer ties with their people. Governor Eno emphasized the importance of the development, stating that local government chairmen must reside in their areas to better understand and address the need of their constituents. He reiterated his administration's commitment to rural development on the Arise agenda, which focuses on bringing governance closer to the people. He announced that in the next 1 month, the government will flag off the remaining 30 lodges simultaneously across the remaining local government areas. Earlier, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Frank Achibong, had said the commissioning of the Eket Lodge marks the beginning of a statewide initiative to construct similar lodges across the 30 local government areas in Akwa Ibom State. According to him, the newly inaugurated lodge comprises 5 distinct structures: a main residential building, a 50-seater capacity hall, a generator house, boys' quarters, and a gatehouse. adding that the comprehensive facility is designed to provide a conducive environment for local government chairmen to perform their duties effectively within their respective domains. Delivering his vote of thanks, the chairman of Eket Local Government Area, Akantomi, expressed deep appreciation to the governor for the large christened the People's House, describing it as a visionary step that will change the face of the local governance in Akwa Ibom Government House. The Government House correspondent Jane Uwa reports that goodwill messages were received from the chairman of Algon, Dr. Uwemedimo Udo, Speaker of the AKHA, Udeme Otong, and the DG of Campaigns, Ambassador Assam, who thanked the governor for strengthening local governance and ensuring that council leaders are more accessible to the communities they serve. Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State Government has approved the construction of a secondary school in Idung Ofyong to bridge the education gap in the rural area and meet the yearnings of families in about 6 communities in parts of Eket and Esit Eket local government areas. Governor Umar Enar gave directives for the proposed secondary school to complement the Arise Model Primary School initiated and completed by his administration at Idung Ofyong. Commissioning the primary school project, the governor said approval for the secondary school is to meet the education needs of children in Idung Ofyong, Idung Udo, and Idung Imo, Ikot Abasi, Uda, and Ebi Ekpi villages in Eket and Esit Eket local government areas, as passionately requested by stakeholders. At the event, the governor praised the excellent performance by pupils of the school and commended their teachers, whom he said have partnered government to lay a great educational foundation for the children. Governor Enar therefore directed the immediate employment of the mother of a pupil of the school, who led in the presentation of a special welcome song to the governor in response to the boy's passionate appeal for his jobless mother and in appreciation of his rare talent. An overview of the Arise Model Primary School in Idung Ofyong, presented by the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ubong Umor, indicated that the model primary school sits on 25,461 square meters land mass, 16.09% used for the built-up area, which comprises 17 classrooms well furnished with ICT facilities. Other facilities, according to Professor Umor, include solar-powered system, sporting facilities and farming area, borehole facility, among other modern-day facilities. On their part, members of the State Executive Council from Eket, including the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mpiso Frank Achibong, and Commissioner for Sports, Elder Paul Bassi, thanked the governor for the world-class educational facility in Eket Government House. Correspondent Jane Uwa reports that, also speaking, the chairman, State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Anyete Etuk, and House of Assembly member for Eket State's constituency, Dr. Isidibe Akata, and other key stakeholders expressed appreciation to the governor for their investment in basic education, noting that the staff quarters reintroduced in primary schools with the Arise model will encourage pupils and teachers alike to yield their best. Moving now to Africa, where Kenya's President William Ruto has publicly apologized to Tanzania following days of tension between neighboring countries. Some Kenyans on social media have been targeting Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan following the recent detention and deportation of prominent East African activist Angry Tanzanian MPS on Monday, accused Kenyans of cyberbullying and disrespecting Tanzanian sovereignty and meddling in domestic affairs. Speaking at a national prayer breakfast on Wednesday, Ruto appeared to extend an olive branch to Tanzania. Ruto also apologized to young Kenyans, popularly known as Gen Zs, who have been critical of his administration since the deadly anti-tax protesters last June. Some of them have dismissed Ruto's apology, insisting that the president should resign. The president made the remarks in response to a call by visiting American preacher Ricky Allen Bowden, who urged the leaders to pursue reconciliation. And on the foreign scene, the United States have reportedly ordered some companies to stop shipping goods to China without a license and revoked licenses already granted to certain suppliers. Reports say the new restrictions, which are likely to escalate tensions with Beijing, appear aimed at choke points to prevent China from getting products necessary for key sectors. And still on the foreign scene, the UK government said it will step in to fast-track the building of 2 new reservoirs amid drought fears as England was on track to record its driest start to spring in more than a century. The Environment Department took control of the planning process to build 2 major reservoirs in East England for the first time in 30 years as it warned national supplies, especially clean drinking water, were under threat. Reports say the 2 reservoirs were given nationally significant status, transferring planning powers from local level to the central government. The department said the move will streamline and accelerate the planning process to shore up water facilities and resources for over 750,000 homes in England's most water-stressed area. Still to come in the news, Al Hilal ready to splash 120 million euros on Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen. Many thanks for staying tuned. Now to the rest of the news. On our business news, the federal government has inaugurated a digital pilot project providing free internet access to the rural community of Ighodalo'S, Uswanin Kura, Gwagwalada in the Federal Capital Territory in a bid to bridge Nigeria's digital divide. Speaking at the launch, the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, disclosed that over 20 million Nigerians remain without any form of telecommunication access. Tijani further stressed the often overlooked security implications of poor connectivity, saying, "Those locations that are not covered become difficult to govern." According to him, the President has mandated an investment in about 7,000 telecom towers nationwide. Still in business, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has released new guidelines mandating a digitized, transparent and accountable framework for electricity revenue collection. The new regulatory directive, titled Guidelines on Registration and Engagement of Third-Party Collection Service Providers, was released and signed by the NERC Chairman Sanusi Garba. The new regulatory directive, which takes effect immediately, is anchored on the powers conferred upon the Commission by Section 226 of the Electricity Act 2020. The Nigerian Health Government and the Ondo State Government launched a collaborative initiative aimed at reducing maternal and neonatal mortality in the state by 2027. The move was disclosed during a 5-day stakeholders workshop on material and newborn mortality reduction innovation and initiative co-creation held in Akure, Ondo State. The minister, represented by the Director of Child Health, Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Amina Mohammed, said the workshop marked the rollout of the maternal and newborn mortality reduction initiative in Ondo. He noted that 33 states of the Federation and 171 local government areas have been identified as high burdened for maternal and newborn mortality in Nigeria. And now to sports, where Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal has tabled a 120 million euros deal to sign Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen this summer. The Nigerian international has become the most sought-after player in the summer transfer window after his impressive display from Galatasaray this season. According to newsmen, the Saudi Arabian club has reportedly made contact with the striker and is prepared to offer him a lucrative contract. And still in sports, Nigeria recorded a comfortable 2-1 win over Ghana in the second semi-final of the Unity Cup yesterday. The Super Eagles dominated their West African rivals in the first half and raced into a 2-goal lead, thanks to Cyril Dessers and Razak Simpson's own goal. However, the Black Stars fought their way back into the contest and pulled a goal back through Brandon Thomas Asante. But Ghana failed to find an equalizer against Nigeria, who produced a remarkable defensive display to repel their attacks. The Black Stars will now take on Jamaica in the finals on Friday. They will face Trinidad and Tobago in the third-place fixture also on Friday. On our entertainment news, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has officially summoned Darlington Okoye, popularly known as Speed Darlington, following claims of sexual misconduct involving a minor. According to reports, the controversial singer sparked widespread outrage during an Instagram live session in which he claimed to have had a sexual encounter with a 15-year-old girl. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency reported the matter to NAPTIP, urging a thorough investigation into the disturbing claims. In response to the backlash, Speed Darlington released a follow-up video where he stated that the comments were intended to promote a new song. He also issued an apology for any offense or discomfort caused by his remarks. In a statement issued on Thursday, NAPTIP confirmed he has been summoned for questioning. The agency also warned that further action will be taken if he fails to comply. And that's all we have for you on the news at this time. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Spectrum Live TV. You can also